It's going to be part 24 on the Mongrel build. So I think what I'm going to do today is start trying to fold up a few panels that I'm going to need. I'm going to need to remake this back section here, and might actually fit those side panels and then start folding up these. Really annoyingly, it's about 50mm too long to do it in one piece in my folder. I'll probably make some sort of like little end panels and then do the middle in one section. I have to fill this section in here. Best way to go forward is probably to fit those two new end panels and then work off of those. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I need to clean all this up so I get back to good metal. And then these are a different shape to the original. The original kind of comes down and it's got like a flat corner on the bottom. But it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to these will probably actually be sat a little bit higher than the original as well, just so I can get over this rust here without having to add any more steel in. So all I'm going to do is trim this off where I want it and then joggle the edge with one of these joggler or a stepper or edge setter or whatever you want to call it. Run that along and that'll step the edge so that when I lay this over the top it'll be flat. And one of the benefits of fitting panels like this is it's obviously massively quicker than butt welding it. You could cut it along and then butt weld it, grind it flat, dot it all, and you never see that it's been repaired. But on a panel like this, quite likely you'll warp it unless you're really careful with the welding. And yeah, I mean, I'm all about the speed, so that's how we're doing this bit. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to butt weld it around this back corner, but then from that point there, I'll have a stepped edge and I'll just spot weld it over the top. So the stepped edge will come just above that line and then that will sit flush on it. We'll just spot weld them together. So I've cut that so that the indentation will start just above the line so that this can like follow through. So now I can just butt weld that to there and then use a spot welder to just zap that together all the way along. So I'll put a bit of weld through primer on there and on the inside edge of this, just so that these seams are protected, and then we can weld that in. Just let that dry for a couple of minutes. Get a brew on. Alright, that is in, done. It's completely flat, hasn't warped that panel at all. You can't even feel the seam when you run your hand over it. There's no, what do you call it, step between the two panels. It's not raised up at all, so you know, just a thin skim of filler and that'll be flat. So yeah, probably a bit of discussion as to whether that's the correct way to do this. That is how cars from the factory are joined together. You know, it's where you join them that is going to be the issue. Looking at this, I mean, if this was like a real high-end restoration, then you would want to put it back as original. So originally there was never a seam there, so you would want to repair that with no seam. And but the benefits of doing it this way are it's much quicker. You're much less likely to warp it. The disadvantages are that you've got an overlapped seam, which is going to be usually the place where rust is going to start. You know, when you get moisture into like a seam like that, and it'll start rusting from that point. So you're essentially creating a new place that could rust, whereas if this was a butt welded flat seam, you're not really going to get that. So now the pure misery of knowing that I've got to do exactly the same again on the other side. So this panel's like all bunched up on that corner there. You got a real high spot here, and it's just not shaped very well, so try and get that out before I put it in. It's a lot better than it was. So no warping at all. That's like perfect. Just another bit done. Happy with those. They're actually sloping a lot more than the original did. I cut this further up just so I didn't have to do any repairs, and then angled the panel down. So this does actually slope down more than normal. The normal panel would have sat more flat, but it doesn't make any difference because I've not got anything to connect into under here anyway, and I'm remaking the back section, so I actually think it'll look a bit better with a bit of a angle on it. Next is going to be getting going with this back panel. Just going to cut all this off square, square this edge up. What are the chances? That's all I can do because I've just run out of gas, which is a pain in the ass. So yeah, gonna have to go and get some gas first thing tomorrow. Absolute mission to where I need to go to get it as well. But yeah, the plan is to obviously just to fully weld that piece in, cut it off flush, so it's a dead straight line all the way down. Now I just need to make two little panels with a folded edge on it to sort of come around and copy that either end, and then I can just fold a nice curve on my folder, weld that in, and then that'll be that bit done. But can't do any more of that today. What I did do was I managed to strip everything out of the subframe. This is pretty much scrap. Like the these hanger things that support the diff mounts are like rotted through. All the arms are scrap. So, I mean, this is so rusty. I don't think any of it's any good whatsoever. So I'm going to have to look for another subframe. Get all new arms, all the suspension's junk. This is where I cracked the casing trying to get that bolt out. I ended up getting it out by cutting the head off the top and then beating it down through the other way. And there was like a sleeve on the bolt which sat in there that was completely seized onto it, so it had pushed, as I was unwinding it, it had pushed the sleeve up inside this other sleeve and then sort of damaged that sleeve and pushed it out through the side. But that should be fine. I don't think that's going to be an issue. The brakes are probably usable, but they'll need stripping down. Yeah, all the bolts, I'm hoping that you can get like a full nut and bolt kit with all the nuts and bolts, but don't know whether you will be able to or not. And then the front looks a bit better, but again, all the arms I think are just junk, but the actual frame itself and the rack and everything looks decent. And the brakes aren't so rusted solid on the front either. So yeah, lots of rusty So it's going to be a good day when all the rust is gone, that's for sure. But yeah, that is it for this one. Just watching. See you on the next one.